Happy Tuesday, everyone. Hope you're doing well. We are going to continue down our road of canine cognition. What is cognition? Again, it is nothing more than the mental transformation of sensory input into knowledge about your environment and the flexible application of that knowledge. And canines do it and do it remarkably well. They are one of the most successful and proliferating species on the planet. So they know how to get this thing done. Let me tell you, of all species, they can do it. So we need to learn a lot about canine cognition, meaning what are they capable of learning? How do they learn so that we can apply that to our relationships with our dogs and into dog training? So one of the key factors about dogs in learning and one of the benefits they have is that they are group living animals. And that's kind of cool because when you live with a group, it sets up the learning opportunity that you have to learn from others, pretty much at their expense. So instead of you wasting your time and energy and possibly your own safety, hey, check out what the other fellow's doing and see if that worked out well for them. If it didn't work out so well, maybe you shouldn't do that. So group living has its advantages and disadvantages, but when it comes to social learning, there's some big pluses. And we've kind of covered some of these. There's what's called latent learning, where they can learn things, our dogs can, without being immediately rewarded for it. Stored away for future use, that is. Good to know that. Good to know that, just in case I need to use it in the future. We also learned about stimulus enhancement. Hey, what is that you have over there? Or are you eating something? Wait a minute, what are you digging a hole for? Absolutely, I want to know. Maybe there's enough to share. And then there's what we call local enhancement. Hey, what's going on over there? I see a dog over there. Remember signal formation? Animals are able to do that, able to make signs and formulate signs in their heads. They can tell the symbol of something, the shape of something from a distance. I can see that's a dog over there. That's a group of dogs over there. What are they doing over there? Why are they congregating over there? Birds do it all the time. They're flying, they see a field, they note to self, there's a field. There may be food there. But I'm still flying over here because I got a mission to go on here. But then suddenly I come back the next day and there are a bunch of birds in that field. So again, I take advantage of local enhancement. I fly down and sure enough, there's food. We see a lot of local enhancement in foraging. And again, as we move along towards the end of this week, I'm kind of going to show how all this works towards dogs that suddenly get away from us, get away from our homes. How are they drawn away? What happens to them when they're away? And how do we get them back? But also we're going to apply to everyday situations. So here's a couple of them that I want you to park in the back of your brain here. Here we go. One of the parts of social learning is called goal-directed emulation. And it means this. If I'm a dog, if I see another dog chase a squirrel, I chase the squirrel. How many dogs know how to chase a squirrel? How many dogs even want to chase a squirrel prior to not seeing another dog chase a squirrel? Yes, a lot of times I see you with a goal in mind. You're doing it. It will draw me to do it as well. That's part of learning. Again, obviously you know something about squirrels. There's got to be some incredible benefit to chasing squirrels. And we see the same thing with intruders. You know, you adopt a new dog, very peaceful, very quiet, and your other dog who's lived in your house, the already established resident among the dogs, as soon as someone shows up at your door, there goes the resident dog. Roar, 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 roar at the door. And sooner or later, the other dog joins in. Yeah, you do it. You have a goal. You're trying to thwart that trespasser, that intruder, and sure enough, they leave. So now all of a sudden you have two dogs doing it because I observed you doing it. Same thing with a ball, so on and so forth. You see a dog chasing a ball, and next thing you know, the other dog who's never chased a ball, probably never had a desire to chase the ball before, but now all of a sudden, I want to chase the ball. And this is all known as goal-directed emulation. Another factor or category in social learning is observational conditioning. This one's really important. Observational conditioning. They've studied this many times, and one of the subjects they studied the most of this is rhesus monkeys. Rhesus monkeys, or group living monkeys. And they learn to be fearful of snakes and to avoid snakes by simply watching the actions of those other monkeys who are already fearful, already avoiding those snakes. So that's probably where we get the old saying, monkey see, monkey do. Absolutely. You back up, you climb tree, because there's a snake. I'm thinking maybe I should do the same thing. Again, I'm learning from possibly year prior expense. Wow, that's a big benefit for living in a group. But then when we get down to the dogs here, here's some of the things that we don't consider a benefit for us dog owners. Our dogs can become very fearful of unfamiliar dogs and other people because a dog that you also own in the household happens to be so. I cannot tell you how many times people have come up to me and said, man, my dog was fine until I adopted this other dog. And when this other dog came to my household, it was very fearful of people, very fearful of other dogs. And next thing you know, my dog is. Absolutely. They can also pick up phobias. Now, typically, those don't last. They're simply observational conditioning. They're becoming part of that condition. They're allowing that condition to set in because, again, it's kind of like a monkey see, monkey do type situation. I experienced this personally with a dog that I had at one point in my life. He was a long-haired Sheltie. His name was Rookie. And when our son was born, the doctors determined that he was allergic to the dog, severely allergic. So unfortunately, the dog had to go. So I rehomed the dog to a client of mine that had a dog already that had a very rare disease, extremely rare. I can count the number of times on one hand that I've seen it in all my years. And we call it, for lack of anything else, stargazing. This is an animal that will move and suddenly stop and stare at the heavens for hours. Stare away. Yeah, it's a brain dysfunction. It's a mental condition. Well, about 8 months into ownership of Rookie, I found out that our son was not allergic to Rookie. He just had juvenile asthma. Frustrating. So I happened to ask the people who adopt a Rookie, and I said, hey, Rookie can be a real pain, and I'm sure by now he's probably worn out his welcome. So if you ever want to give him back, I'll take him. And they go, here you go. So it makes you wonder, dang, Rookie, what did you do there, buddy? Because they gave you up pretty quickly. Well, guess who was stargazing? Rookie. Absolutely. He was doing the exact same behavior. But I had removed him from the provocative stimulus, the observational conditioning that was there. When I removed him away from the dog that actually had the condition, it went away on some because it died out. It was not reinforced. But we will see this. We will see dogs become very phobic about thunderstorms, fireworks, even develop OCDs because they observe other animals behaving that way. So now think about you. All the time I tell people, the attitude that goes down that leash is often the one that will come back. We've talked many times about social support, how you have to be confident around your dog. And you can't fake it. You either are or you're not. But if you are, then I show, hey, I'm not worried about these people over here. I'm not worried about that unfamiliar dog that's approaching us. Thunderstorms? Yeah. Who cares about them? I don't care about thunderstorms. And I don't have any OCDs. They learn. They truly do. Now, in many cases, and again, I could spend a long time on this, there's a lot of genetic backing behind this that will predispose the animal to either how deeply this learning from observational conditioning sets in. It depends on the individual and many other factors. But nevertheless, they will watch us. They live in our group. And if there's no dog from them to learn from, then you're it. You're on deck. They learn from you. So many times we create this condition? From them simply observing us, these undesired behaviors. So we're going to keep this in mind because I'm going to be coming back to this many times, because it needs to be addressed. We need to figure out what do we need to do with you so that you behave in a way that is observed by your dog in a positive light, not in a dangerous or a very fearful light. We can't have that. Okay, guys, so that's it for today. Welcome to cognition, canine cognition. Welcome to social learning. Welcome to 2 more parts of it. Goal-directed emulation. And again, monkey see, monkey do. I mean, hey, if you're going to run off a delivery guy, so am I. You're going to chase a squirrel, so am I. If you're going to do this particular behavior, I think I'll give that thing a shot too, because obviously you're doing it for a reason. And then lastly down here, man, if you're fearful, I guess I should be fearful too. So they learn from all of this. They really do. So stay tuned for tomorrow. We're going to go a little bit deeper down this rabbit hole, and then I'm going to tie it all in together. Try and put it in a nice little box, put a little bow on it, so it will all make sense to you from one end to the next. And again, you will have all these terms so that when I use them in future videos, you're not going to be sitting there going, okay, so what was this emulation thing that Bryan was talking about? Hey, you'll have it. And you'll be ready to go, and you'll go, I get it now. My dog's exactly like that. Or, dang, I think Bryan might have been talking about me in that video. Oh, if I was, no big deal. Let's get it changed. That's what we're here for. Okay, guys, if you found this beneficial, please share it with someone else. Please, a lot of dog owners out there, they need this kind of information. And also, if you have any questions or any suggestions for future videos, send them my way. Again, I have an agenda here, but I will fit those things into my agenda as I see that they fit, and as I am able to answer a lot of questions, I certainly will do it for you. Until tomorrow, stay safe, and just remember, someone's watching you, so make sure you do well.